Hi everyone, I'm David Griffin.
And I'm Michael Medina.
Here to bring you after a nice long break, Arrow.
It's been a while, huh?
Long time, yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit of Arrow tonight. That's season 2, episode 10, Blast Radius. This is we're back. It's kind of
good to be back.
Good to be back. A lot went on in the first half of this season.
Yeah,
it's so hard to talk about. I'm like, wait, where are we right now? It's like, okay, this is episode 10.
Yeah.
Blast Radius. The new villain in town.
Yes, they do.
Firefly alum.
Yeah.
The only problem is there was no Summer Glau in this episode, so you're not going to complete both of them. That's okay. That's okay.
I got to admit, like every single review I've been talking about how much I love the show, ranting and raving. Every episode's been great.
Oh, I feel something negative coming.
No, I like this episode, but I got to admit, it wasn't one of my favorites.
Okay.
So, it wasn't bad. I'm not saying I definitely enjoyed it and stuff, but I felt like, and I don't want to say it was a filler episode because it certainly was not.
No.
It's just for whatever reason, maybe I just wasn't feeling the villain as much. But I thought it was a good episode, but just.
No, I would agree. I think this isn't the most dynamic villain we've had.
Yeah.
Although I was happy to see a guy from Firefly. He wasn't as dynamic as some other villains. Especially we were introduced. Deathstroke is in town.
Yeah.
I thought we might see him again. It looks like we're going to see him next week, maybe with the preview. You see the mask, but especially with Solomon Grundy. The best parts of this episode. Again, I don't want to give Laurel too much credit because I don't know if her character is still interesting, but at least Brother Blood makes her more interesting.
Yeah, which
so
is
it's nice to see him.
Yeah, kind of sad though that like Laurel's kind of depending on this character.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm liking Brother Blood the more I see him because you really just after what happens to Laurel discovers that his mother was actually
he's the devil.
Into that home.
He's the devil.
Don't trust him.
Yeah.
No, but so I'm like, all right, that's a nice little. You kind of saw it coming, I guess, if you're familiar with the character, but if you're not, it was a nice little twist.
Right, because when we talked about Brother Blood the first time, we went through his history a little bit on Think Hero and talked about how, you have to commit an act of patricide, you have to kill your father to join the group and to become the next, patriarch as he is. So we knew that he probably did kill his dad. It wasn't, in front of his mom as a kid, which is crazy. So he's bad. Let's see what else we get a little bit of Roy.
Yeah,
Roy Harper.
Finally starting to see something that the shot kind of kick in now. So he's showing some signs of like super strength. We don't really know how much yet.
Right.
But you can see like his arm heals.
Yeah, and he gets the beam falls on him and he's okay. Now we know that he's probably not overreacting or not getting too hyped up, too crazy because he does have, Speedy, he has his girl, so that's maybe holding him in. Whereas
I'm assuming, I think you're probably right because he's definitely reacting to it differently than Slade.
Yeah, right.
So when we cut to the flashbacks and we see Slade kind of just looking like he's juiced up on roids or something like that, you know. And again, going to the island, I'm loving what I see in the island though.
It was too short this week.
It really was.
We needed more. Yeah, needed more. I think they're just this is a 22 episode season, so they need to hold back enough to last the whole season, but I wish we could see more.
Absolutely. I thought that was definitely the strongest part of this particular episode and stuff. And I didn't want it to just be about Shadow getting killed, and that's what, kind of brings Oliver and Slade to heads, but you're starting to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's getting a little deeper, Oliver's, obviously he's struggling with trying to keep this secret, I guess. He feels responsible for Shadow's death or whatnot, so. But then, Slade kind of goes off and does his own thing and stuff. And it's short but sweet, I guess,
And, we have to mention this being a CW show. We have to talk about Olicity. Or
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Olicity. Yeah, so Olicity looks like they're going to keep it as friends. She was in Central City. On a little vacation, visiting.
Little friction going on though.
Yeah, a little edge,
a little bit, Oliver questioning where her head's at.
They were close. It almost happened. Like, were they going to kiss?
At the edge of my seat.
We got to have this is the CW. We have to have the relationships going on here. But it was. I like Felicity. I like their relationship.
Yeah, and it's like with the relationship, it's complicated. Obviously,
Yes.
You saw what happened between him and Laurel last season and stuff. He can't just, especially like somebody that you work with.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's tough. And I was pretty sure, we weren't going to see any. We might. There's still a whole nother half. We might still see something, but I'm like, you don't want to rush something like that either. You know what I mean? You've got to have some drama.
Right. Olicity's not dead. It can keep going. It keep happening.
On hiatus.
That's on hiatus right now. So. How do we think this episode looking into the future? Like, what are we thinking for the next half of this season?
Well, I think the mid-season finale just set up the second half so well that even though this episode for me was just kind of there,
it's still good.
It was still good, and I'm still hyped up for this because there's still so many possibilities. Because we still have Cyrus, who they mentioned in the episode. You still have Brother Blood, and then we have Deathstroke, Slade, who we're going to be seeing more of. And I pray going back to what we said about Laurel and her role this season and stuff, I'm really hoping we get something out of this character, because at times I almost wish she wasn't even in an episode.
She's still popping pills.
Yeah, if you're just going to stick her in to give her a couple lines just for the sake of putting her on, it's like just, you know what I mean? It doesn't help. I'd like to see more from her.
She's not doing anything on her own.
I want to like her.
Yeah, I know. I think because we have seen her kick butt. She can kick butt, but it's just not. We're not seeing it right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, another great episode, another good episode. Maybe not as good as a mid-season finale, but Arrow is back. We're happy that it's back. Let the mayhem begin. We have a lot of episodes to get through still to get to 22. We're only on episode 10 right now, so stay tuned, for our reviews as we keep following this. As always, come chat with us at thinkhero.com. We also can come find us on this YouTube page. You want to comment, you see Mike and I in the comments. We always try to respond to all your comments. So share with us what you think. At Think Hero Pro. And we're also on Twitter at Think Hero. You can talk to Dennis, myself, Mike. But personally, I'm at Griffin DE. And I'm at Mr. Michael Alexis. We also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. So be sure to give us a like, thumbs up this video, subscribe, spread the word. More Arrow goodness to come as the weeks continue. So we'll see you next time.